Another hotel, and another Mercure hotel. Does this one really make the grade? Hi, it's Craig. Welcome back to Craig's Life and welcome to another Mercure hotel. Now, regular viewers of the channel will be thinking, oh no, not another Mercure. But you'll also know I've got a little bit of a bee in my bonnet about Mercure hotels because some of the ones I've been in lately, have they or have they not been up to the mark that you would expect from the brand? Mercure is part of the Accor Hotels group, who also have Ibis Budget, Ibis Styles and Novotel, as well as Mercure, which is the top level. And some of the ones I've stayed in don't seem to have really been that kind of top level that you would expect for the brand. This one is in Tunbridge Wells in Kent. It is the 3rd of February 2022. I stayed here last night. So this is actually my second night tonight, and it's cost me £144 for 2 nights, so £72 a night. So let's have a little look at this room and see what we think of this one. So here's a view we see as we walk through the main door. Immediately to our left, we have the bathroom, which we'll look at in just a moment. Immediately to our right, we have a stand here to put the case on, a nice big mirror, and the wardrobe, which contains inside an ironing board, some drawers, some hangers, some spare towels, and right the way at the back there is the iron and the measurer for the water. There is no safe. And here we're into the room. Now this room is actually at the end of the corridor, which is why I've got this window here as well as the one directly in front. This is a standard room. There are also superior rooms as well, but looking around there's obvious evidence that this has had some refurbishment. We've got a huge king-size bed, which if we look just a little bit more closely, you can see is 2 beds pushed together. We've got some nice furnishing. We've got lamps at the side of the bed. We've got light switches in there, but there's no power sockets, which is a bit of a shame because if you've got power in the headboard for lights, you could have power for plug sockets as well. Looks like it's fairly new furniture. It was very comfortable sleep in here last night. It's a very old late 90s, early 2000s phone, which really could be swapped for something a little bit more modern. And an old panel heater here, which keeps the place nice and warm. We've got a couple of chairs and a table just here. A fan here in the corner, which I had on last night. There's quite a lot of drawers, it has to be said. There's lots of drawers. I mean, if you're staying in a hotel for a couple of nights, I don't honestly know what you're going to use all these drawers for, but it's quite a nice piece of furniture. If you had this as a dressing table or even a desk at home, it's certainly a good piece of furniture. You can't fault it. TV, as we can see here, I haven't been using it. One thing I do like, they have this little thing to hang on the door which says go green, skip the clean. So if you don't want any housekeeping doing, you can hang that up, which I did. Here we've got our usual selection of tea and coffee. There's a lot of milks. I've got my own coffee to take to where I'm working, and I took 3 milks out of here, and I've still got quite a few left. A couple of biscuits and a couple of bottles of hometown there. Look, Harrogate water, and it's both actually still rather than sparkling, which is good because I don't like sparkling water. And just pan back again, we've actually got a huge gap here with nothing in it. So overall, this is a nice room. On the side there, you can see there is your hairdryer should you need it. So all in all, this is rather a nice room. It's not the biggest of rooms, but it is nice, it is comfortable, it is warm, the Wi-Fi is good, and it's pretty fast. Let's have a little look in the bathroom. So here's the view into the bathroom. If we look immediately to the left, we have a large mirror, what looks like a fairly newish sink, heated towel rail. That's where the towels were hanging when I came in. Obviously I've used them, so they're hanging up at the moment. Toilet, nothing exciting about that. And here we've got, unfortunately, the area which actually lets this room down a little bit in the bathroom. First of all, it's a curtain, which, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of. We've got shampoo shower gel here, so we're not using small bottles, which, as some of you will know if you follow my channel, is something I prefer. We do have some dirty marks here. You can see where there's been repair, and just up here underneath this sign, I actually cleaned some of that off this morning. That is mildew, so that is not too good. One thing we saw in a hotel recently is we've got a clothesline again, which we can actually have across, because this hotel does have a leisure complex in. And here's something which is actually quite clever. A lot of the hotels you go into, you open the door and it bashes into the bath, but this one will just bash into the stop, so it's not actually going to cause damage to the door or to the bath. So that's quite a useful little thing. But if you look around, you can see evidence once again of mildew and not very good repairs. I mean, if you're going to cut the tile and seal it, you should at least seal up to where it's been cut. So that doesn't look like the best of jobs. Right, before you start whinging and having a go at me saying, God, Craig, for God's sakes, you've been so picky. I get it. This room's had some refurbishment done. It looks really nice. I like the room. I like what's been done. The bathroom's a little bit outdated, but I said before, you go in, you do what you need to do, you get out. But this is still a top level brand hotel. But it also makes perfect sense, because if you're doing some work in your own house and you're going to refurbish your bedroom, it might just cost you a few £100 for maybe some new soft furnishings, coat of paint, maybe a new carpet, bits of new furniture. But it could cost you a couple of £1,000s to redo the bathrooms. So I get what they've done. They've spent the money on the room and they've just done some light facelifting in the bathroom. So I like the fact that some refurbishment's been done. The fact that this is a standard room suggests obviously we have got the bigger room. As a whole, this room is actually not too bad. It now comes on to another question as to where would I score this and would I stay here again? This is actually a 4-star hotel. The entrance as you come up to the hotel is a very tall peak building, which is actually a building that was very common across Kent, where they actually, I'm not sure whether they stored or dried hops for making beer. And it's quite an old-ish looking building. I don't know, it might be 30s, I'm not 100% sure. But it is not a bad looking building. It's very popular for weddings, and I'm sure that the superior rooms are actually even better than the one that I'm in now. So this is a 4-star hotel, so I'm sure some of the facilities within the hotel are certainly worthy of the 4 stars. With my score of 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, where does this particular one sit? For me, this is a 3. Now, the reason why I'm giving it a 3 is because the bathroom lets it down. I think if I was in a superior room, I may have even given this a 4. Don't let this put you off, because it's obvious that this hotel is actually up to the standards that you would expect from the brand. We are at a higher quality than a lot of the Mercures that I've seen. There isn't any nastiness in this particular room that I've seen. A little bit of cleaning on the mildew, but you can get sprays for all of that and just shower it all off after 10 minutes. You know, it would clean all that off dead quick. But it is, on the whole, a very nice hotel. I can't even tell you what's in this area. This is in the town of Royal Tunbridge Wells. I don't know much about the place. It's very seldom I get this far south. But if you ever are in this area, then certainly give this one a look. That is all I have to say for this particular hotel. Thank you for your continued support, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one, right here on Craig's Life. Until then, bye-bye.